Hey, my name is Paul Salter, and I'm a registered dietitian and host of the Screw the Scale podcast. If you're fed up with losing and regaining the same 15 freaking pounds over and over and letting the scale dictate how you feel, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the show where we discuss the latest long-term weight maintenance research and strategies to develop the mindset and behavior changes essential to maintaining your weight once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the... Wait a second. We're mixing things up and starting fresh. Welcome to the first ever episode of the 5% Way podcast with your host, myself, registered dietitian Paul Salter, alongside my co-host, sustainable weight loss specialist, Michaela Barsati, who I will introduce you to in full detail in tomorrow's episode. If you've been a fan and listener of the Screw the Scale podcast, don't worry. You are still in the right place. I'm still here kicking it, bringing the fire and the passion to every single episode, but now with a different purpose and level of clarity like never before. And let me just further reiterate and express my gratitude for you for listening to the show, whether you've been listening since day one over 3 years ago or have just started recently listening to the Screw the Scale podcast, now going to be known from this point forward as the 5% Way podcast. Thank you so much. I am really glad you're here. And the purpose of today's show is to concisely update you on the reason behind the name change and what to expect from the show as we move forward. And then like I alluded to moments ago, tomorrow we'll release another episode further introducing you to both myself and my wonderful co-host, Michaela Barsati. So let me go ahead and cue in the new introduction for the 5% Way podcast for you to get a feel for it, and then we'll dive into today's episode. If you feel like you know exactly what to do to lose the weight and keep it off, but are struggling to do so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the 5% Way podcast, where myself, registered dietitian Paul Salter, and my co-host, sustainable weight loss specialist Michaela Barsati, have an impactful conversation focused on helping you uncover the root cause of the self-sabotaging behaviors holding you back from achieving sustainable weight loss. Your transformation begins from the inside out, and our purpose is to accelerate that progress by sharing practical strategies and need-to-know information to help you reclaim your confidence, control, and inner calm so that you can feel, look, and be your best. Okay, welcome back. I hope you're still as invigorated and inspired and excited as I am. And the rebrand and rename of the show, let's talk about that. This was done in an effort to better align my personal focus moving forward, which is on the 5% ecosystem, or the 5% Way, which is our entire environment of education, transformational experiences, and coaching plus community programs designed to help you achieve sustainable weight loss from the inside out. And the 5% Way is focused on helping high-achieving women in particular, frustrated by the dieting industry, feeling stuck in the yo-yo dieting cycle, reclaim their confidence, control, and inner calm so that they may achieve sustainable weight loss from the inside out and feel, look, and be their very best. And we do this by providing expert education, research-based strategies, and practical application of the 4 core elements of sustainable weight loss. Yes, that's right. There are 4 core elements when it comes to achieving sustainable weight loss. So if you heard that correctly, you now realize there's so much more to this than just what you put into your mouth, what you don't put it in, and how much you move throughout the day. And those 4 core elements are as follows: emotional awareness and management, positive psychology, mindset, and self-talk, behavior change and habit formation, as well as habit deconstruction, and of course, sustainable weight loss nutrition strategies. In the next 4 to 8 weeks, my best estimate at this time, we're going to unleash another incredibly educational resource to further support you in your sustainable weight loss journey. And before we get into that, we really wanted to prioritize bringing the podcast back as soon as possible because, as you know, this is going on 4 years for me personally, podcasting over 160 episodes, hanging out with each and every one of you fantastic listeners. And I've taken a couple strategic pauses, and no pause to date compared to this last one has been more impactful. I was really able to step away and gain clarity on what the next 6, 12, 18, even 24 months of the show may potentially look like. And I knew I wanted to make some changes to not only the structure, but really freshen up some of my approach, some of the resources and education shared with you, and then bring in another brilliant mind to provide a completely different perspective. Specifically, the perspective from a woman, which is one I don't have. And as you get to meet Michaela and learn how incredibly brilliant she is, you're going to just see how confident and courageous she is being vulnerable, telling her own story and how that has catapulted her own understanding of what it takes to really develop a sense of proficiency and now at this day and age, mastery of each of the 4 elements of sustainable weight loss. So that's why we really wanted to bring the podcast back as soon as possible. I couldn't be more excited to get going again and really to introduce you to Michaela because she's been an absolutely wonderful asset to the team, my life in particular, and I really can't wait to give you the opportunity to learn from her because I have learned such a tremendous amount from her as well. But in this moment, for the sake of the episode right now, I want to share a little bit more about why we do what we do at the 5% Way. And it begins with this. And ladies, I'm speaking directly to you here in particular. We feel that women have been shortchanged and misled by the weight loss industry, led to believe that beauty and sexiness can only be achieved if you look a certain way, and therefore to look that way, you need to behave a certain way, which often means you are falling victim to the promotion of many restrictive approaches to help you achieve that societal influence standard of beauty. And even more, the weight loss recommendations that you find on every nook and cranny of the internet are recommendations and approaches offered and designed to keep you as repeat customers, trapped as a lifelong member of the weight loss industry. And what do I mean by that? Well, the restrictive approaches you take breed weight regain because they're unsustainable, which means that after your willpower is exhausted, 30, 60, maybe 90 days later, you inevitably revert to the habits that led to you being unhappy with your health, your weight, or yourself in the first place. And now you get stuck in this perpetual cycle of weight loss and regain, but also the blame and shame cycle. You may be prone to blaming yourself for this diet or weight loss or weight maintenance failure. You might look to blame a diet or a specific approach you took and then hop to another. You might blame your significant other, your work. Regardless, you are stuck in this weight loss regain cycle, this blame, failure, self-defeating thought cycle, and so the cycle goes. But perhaps most alarming is that nowhere have you ever truly come across the education, the resources, the coaching, and community support related to how to maintain your weight loss after a diet, specifically without feeling like you're dieting. And, diet culture tells us that we have an obesity epidemic, when in reality, we don't have this weight loss problem. We're really freaking good at losing weight. What we have is a weight maintenance problem. And if we take a step back to think about why, well, the answer becomes quite simple and quite clear. There's next to nothing out there related to teaching you let alone coaching you and supporting you, how to develop sustainable eating habits that empower you with a sense of confidence, control, and inner calm, and how to actually maintain your weight loss after a diet. We aim to change that. We are your authority on sustainable weight loss, period. And we firmly believe that sustainable weight loss begins from the inside out. And everything we do, the podcasts, the articles, the coaching, the educational programs and resources is aimed at providing you with everything you need to jumpstart that transformation from the inside out so that you can truly feel it, look it, and be about it. We are specialists in integration. What that means is helping you. You already know what to do. So helping you ascend from knowing what to do to consistently doing what you know you're supposed to do, to eventually consistently being or embodying what it is you know and want to do. And we are just simply so excited to be on this journey with you and to be there for you every step of the way. And one quick note I wanted to add. The past 10 years or so, I'm approaching working one-on-one with just about 1,500 men and women, helping countless of thousands of others collectively lose tens of thousands of pounds and keep them off for good. The three most frequent adjectives I hear used when asking potential clients, potential community members, current clients and past clients related to how they want to feel or what they are looking to achieve are really reclaiming the feelings of confidence, certainty or control, and inner calm. And if I can help you, if Michaela can help you, if collectively we can help you reclaim those feelings, what happens is you step up into that next best version of yourself, fully empowered with confidence, certainty, and inner calm, and truly become an unstoppable force, unshakable on your quest to feel, look, be your best, and keep the weight off for good. And we are going to help you make that a present day reality. And here's how we do this. It's really simplistic. We provide expert education based on not only extensive time and, the graduate studies, the formal educational realm and all of the degrees and certifications and whatnot, but between Michaela and I, we've helped countless thousands of individuals lose weight and keep it off. So our expertise and education comes from not only the formal track of education, but the practical in the trenches, like really working with, mothers of 3 who work a full-time job, the mother of 1 who is a single parent working 2 jobs, or just the stay-at-home mother who has 4 kids and has a household to run, as well as a couple hobbies she's very passionate about, boards, committees, etc. she's on. We are here because we can relate. We've worked with women in your situation, in every which situation. I can truly tell you there's no such thing as this special snowflake or unique situation. Michaela and I have seen it all. So we really focus on simplicity, practicality, individualization, and sustainability in everything we teach, coach, and communicate. And through our expert education, we have impactful resources, unmatchable community and coaching support, and we really make it a priority to meet you where you are at in your journey. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced portion control ninja, or you've never heard of macro counting or anything like that before, we're gonna meet you exactly where you are at and have resources, coaching, and community for you at that point in your journey so that we can accelerate your path to getting you where you want to be. One of the main ways or methods we do this is by focusing on the fundamentals of sustainable weight loss, specifically building a foundation of healthy eating habits before beginning a dieting phase, teaching you the fundamentals of sustainable weight loss nutrition strategies to use during a dieting phase, and helping you gain proficiency and eventually mastery in the fundamentals of long-term weight maintenance, specifically the first 3 months after a diet. And we do all of this by checking the boxes of simplicity, individualization, and sustainability every step of the way. And you're going to find, we hear this over and over, that with this first priority focus on building the foundation, gaining proficiency in the fundamental skills of sustainable weight loss, what happens is you then create an opportunity in which you have freed up space and energy to start diving deep into uncovering the root causes for the true self-sabotaging behaviors that are holding you back from losing the weight you desire and keeping it off. And this manifests in the form of negative self-talk, toxic thought patterns, limiting beliefs, and counterproductive behavior. So we really take a foundational and fundamental first approach so that we can then create an environment in which you are ready and open to literally open up your heart and your mind to see what's really going on beneath the surface, which is why we say sustainable weight loss truly begins from the inside out. And the point that often gets lost in, my passionate rambling, if you will, is that, if you've struggled to lose weight and keep it off, you're certainly not alone. And I like to reiterate this and give you some numbers, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But the numbers I want to share with you is that, every year, tens of millions of men and women diet. And of those tens of millions, 85% regain the weight that they actually lose within 12 months. Fast forward a couple years later, that number increases from 85% to 95%. So that means in a 3-year time frame, of the tens of millions of people who diet, only 5% can confidently say they have kept the weight they worked so hard to lose off for good. Hence, where our name, the 5% or the 5% way, comes from, is everything we do is geared towards helping you become one of the elite 5%ers, someone truly confident in how they feel, how they look, and how they act, who they are, what they embody for their healthy lifestyle and habits, somebody who is in full control of their food choices, able to free themselves from anxiety, guilt, regret, or frustration related to navigating social occasions, vacations, holidays, and all of the above, and someone who truly has developed a positive relationship with food, dieting, the scale, themselves, and really jump-started their transformation from the inside out. And you may be asking yourself, after hearing some of those statistics, why is weight regain so common? And truth be told, there are many reasons. Duh. However, what we've observed in our experience, helping thousands of women lose weight and keeping it off, is that most people don't even begin to scratch the surface when it comes to addressing the root cause. And as I mentioned earlier, losing weight and keeping it off is about much more than what and when you eat. There's so much more beneath the surface of calories in and calories out that you need to address to truly reach a state of limitless confidence, control, and inner calm. And that's why we have such an emphasis on the 4 core elements of sustainable weight loss. Yes, we spend a lot of time talking about sustainable weight loss nutrition strategies, which is one of those elements, but we spend even more time discussing emotional awareness and management, teaching positive psychology, mindset, and positive self-talk, and coaching on behavior change and habit formation and habit deconstruction. And the direction of the 5% Way podcast is going to include a specific episode focusing on one of those 4 core elements every single month. So whether it's the first Thursday, that's the new change here, our podcast episodes, a new episode, will launch every Thursday, but every Thursday, whether it's the first Thursday of the month, the second, third, fourth, or the occasional fifth, will have a central focus on a topic that fits into one of those 4 core elements. and we will simply rotate through every single month. And for those rare instances where we have 5 Thursdays in a month, we'll bring you something fun, exciting, impactful, and of course, valuable. Duh, we promise to make that happen every single episode. And what I want to spend the next couple of minutes on is just giving you a little bit more information about what to expect from one of those 4 core elements. That way you know what to expect. You're clear on what it is we're going to deliver every time you hit play on our podcast episode. So the first bucket, very simple, sustainable weight loss nutrition strategies. And what I'd like to make clear here is from a very young age, we are taught the difference between nutritious and not so nutritious food choices. And as you get older, you also gain a clear understanding and appreciation of the difference between a moderate and appropriate portion size and what we like to call eating like an asshole. You know what to do to eat well, feel well, and lose the weight when it comes to making food choices. However, we exist at a time where there is a sea of conflicting opinions and fad diets that has made a very simple approach overly complex and has bred uncertainty, distrust, and frustration. And the truth is, you can lose weight and feel your best using a variety of different approaches to your nutrition and eating behaviors. But the one that works the best is the one that is simple, unique to you, and most sustainable. And that's why everything that we teach on and these episodes are going to focus on includes individualization, flexibility, moderation, simplicity, and sustainability. And we're going to provide you with what you need to know. Not every ounce of information out there. We're going to cut through the bullshit, give you the effective information you need to take back control of your nutrition and to optimize progress, whether you are preparing for a diet, in the midst of completing a diet, or trying to maintain your weight loss after a diet. We're going to focus on that. On the episodes that emphasize positive psychology, mindset, and self-talk, these might be my favorites because here's the thing you need to know. Your current identity and all of your past, your current, and even your future results can all be traced back to your self-talk. Your self-talk has an incredibly powerful influence on the thoughts you have. And when a strong emotion is attached to a recurring thought, that thought, it gets elevated to become a belief. And these 3 entities collectively influence your actions. And an action done repeatedly is what we know to be a habit. And it's your habits that shape your results, your outcomes, which ultimately shape your identity. So let me repeat that real quick and show you this downstream ripple effect of negative self-talk and negative word choice. I can't, I suck, I'm fat, I'm stupid. Those words, that talk, creates an environment of recurring thoughts in your mind. And the more we hear them and start to attach emotions, we then elevate them to beliefs. And beliefs are incredibly valuable. They've shaped monumental changes in life throughout history. And it's our thoughts and belief systems that influence our actions. And when an action is done repeatedly, it's known as a habit. And our habits collectively influence our results and our outcomes, which ultimately influence our identity, who we are. Unless you're able to bring awareness to the collective destructive and self-sabotaging patterns taking place in your mind, you're going to remain stuck in this negative identity or current outcome you're frustrated with that you're experiencing right now. So in these particular episodes, we'll put a premium focus on helping you to connect the dots between each aspect so that you can take back control of achieving the feelings, beliefs, outcomes, and identity you desire. Next up, behavior change, habit formation, and habit deconstruction. And this one should be pretty straightforward, but let me give you a brief overview here, because if you think back to any behavior you've wished to start or stop in the past, the chances are, it's quite simple. I mean, for example, if you want to get up earlier to go to the gym in the morning, you literally just take out your smartphone and set your alarm a little earlier. But just because something is simple doesn't mean that it's easy. To truly achieve lasting behavior change, whether that's a total habit makeover or just, pure habit deconstruction, It's essential to be able to understand the fundamentals of behavior change and how critical elements such as your mindset, your environment, and community play a role. So we approach behavior change from a psychological, emotional, and behavioral point of view because it's critical that the feelings and the thoughts elicited by attempting to start or stop a behavior change are addressed first because of the powerful role they play in enhancing the likelihood of a new behavior sticking or an old one disappearing for good. Which leaves us with the fourth and final element of sustainable weight loss: emotional awareness and management. Whew! Emotions, feelings. Everything we do is a result of an emotion we presently feel and an emotion we're currently seeking to feel. We are emotional beings flooded with numerous emotions at any given moment. And unless we recognize the specific emotions we feel, as well as their origin and their purpose, we're going to remain stuck in a place in which our emotions dominate our thoughts, actions, outcomes, and identity. So we're going to take an approach in which we focus on helping keep your emotions at the forefront of every change we support you through and every piece of education we provide, because feelings are always present. And it doesn't matter if we're learning a new habit, trying to stop an old habit, trying to improve our self-talk, etc. Emotions are always there. So learning to recognize them, create an environment in which we can be at peace with them, and most importantly, learning how to use them in a powerful, positive, and productive manner. Whew! When we can start tapping into that, we open up Pandora's box, so to speak, of a limitless power, confidence, certainty, control, and inner calm and peace. And that is liberating and damn exciting. So those are the four buckets, the four elements of sustainable weight loss that we will focus on moving forward in the new direction of the 5% Way podcast. And I hope you're as excited as I am. And like I said earlier, tomorrow, because this is kind of, the pre-official launch episode number 1 of 2, if you will. It's Tuesday, December 7th, as I'm putting this episode out into the ether here. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, the 8th, I'm going to further introduce you to not only myself, but most importantly, my co-host, Michaela Barsati. And then Thursday, December 9th, is the first official episode of the 5% Way podcast. And in the coming weeks, we're going to share the launch of our new sustainable weight loss educational hub with you, as well as our new branding and profile on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. And after Thursday the 9th, every week moving forward, expect a brand new episode to be released early Thursday morning every single week. And hey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. If you're digging the direction we're going, what we're about, we'd love it if you shared us with a friend. We just truly would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, remember that sustainable weight loss is a learnable skill that you are capable of both learning and mastering, and that you absolutely deserve to feel and look your very best. We'll see you in the next episode.